Hello everyone, in this video I'll show you how to craft every single Pokeball in Cobblemon. For those who don't know, Cobblemon is a Minecraft mod which gives you the opportunity to play with Pokemon. And as you can see on my shoulder right now, I have a Pikachu, which is really cool. Pokeballs require Apricorns to craft. There are several different colors of them, as you can see on my hotbar, and they only spawn on those Apricorn trees, which can be naturally generated on every single biome. This is how they look on the tree, and by harvesting them, there is a 10% chance of them dropping an Apricorn seed, which you can then plant again, and you can then grow it into another Apricorn tree, just like this. In addition to the Apricorns, Pokeballs also use an ingot to craft. They split into 4 different tiers, and depending on the tier that they're in, they use their respective ingot. For tier 1s, this is copper, tier 2s use iron, tier 3s require gold ingots, and tier 4s use diamonds, but there are some exceptions to this. First on our list is the standard Pokeball, which can be crafted by using 4 Apricorns of the same color and a copper ingot. By using this recipe, you will receive 4 Pokeballs of that color. They have a catch rate of 1, and they can be crafted on 7 different colors depending on the color of the Apricorn that you used. Next on our list is the Great Ball. This is the recipe for it. It has a catch rate of 1.5, and it also yields 4 when you craft it, as most of the Pokeballs. Next up is the Ultra Ball. This is the recipe for it. It has a standard 2% catch rate, and it yields 4 when it's crafted, like all Pokeballs do. Next on our list is the Safari Ball. This is the recipe for it, and it has a 1.5 catch rate if used outside of battle. If otherwise, it has a catch rate of 1. This is the recipe for the Fast Ball. The Fast Ball has a capture rate of 4 if used on a Pokemon that has a base speed of 100 or more. If you want to check the base speed of a Pokemon that you own, you can press M, then go to Stats, then Base, and here's the base speed. If you do not own the Pokemon, you can just search up the base speed of it. Next up, we got the Level Ball. The Level Ball's capture rate can fluctuate from anywhere between 1 and 4. This depends on how much higher your Pokemon level is compared to the one that you are trying to catch. Now we got the Lure Ball. The Lure Ball is a Pokeball that has a catch rate of 2 if used on a water-type Pokemon. This though is subject to change when fishing for Pokemon is added in future patches. Now let's look at the Heavy Ball. This is the recipe for it. The Heavy Ball has a capture rate between 1 and 4. This depends on how heavy a Pokemon is. The weight of a Pokemon is usually proportionate to its size, but you can always just search up the exact weight of a Pokemon. Next, we got the recipe for the Love Ball. The Love Ball is a Pokeball that has a capture rate of 2.5 if the target Pokemon is the opposite gender of the player's Pokemon. This increases up to 8 if the player's Pokemon is the same species as the target Pokemon. Going on with the list, we got the Friend Ball. The Friend Ball is a Pokeball that has a catch rate of 1, but a Pokemon that is caught with it has a friendship level of 150. You can check the friendship level by clicking M, going to Stats, to Other, and here's the friendship. Next, we got the Moon Ball. This is the recipe for it. The Moon Ball has a catch rate of anywhere from 1 to 4. This rate increases based on how close the moon phase is from being full. Going into the Sport Ball, this Pokeball has the same capture rate as the Great Ball of 1.5, and it doesn't have any specific conditions that can change that. This though is subject to change in future updates. This recipe is used to craft the Park Ball. The Park Ball is a Pokeball that has a 2.5 catch rate when used in a plains or forest biome. If used in any other biome, it has a catch rate of 1, like every other Pokeball if their specific conditions are not met. Next on our list is the Netball. The Netball has a catch rate of 3 if used on a bug or water type Pokemon. Now let's look at the Dive Ball. This is the recipe for it, and the Dive Ball is a Pokeball that has a catch rate of 3.5 if used on a Pokemon that is underwater. This is the recipe for the Nest Ball. The Nest Ball is a Pokeball that has a catch rate of 1 to 4, increasing the lower the target's level is from 30. Next is the recipe for the Repeat Ball. The Repeat Ball is a Pokeball that has a static catch rate of 1, just like the regular Pokeball. This is because at the time I'm making this video, the Pokédex is not yet implemented into the current version of Cobblemon. Otherwise, it should have a better chance at catching a Pokemon that you have already caught. Next up, we got the Timer Ball. The Timer Ball has a catch rate of 1 to 4. This depends on how many turns have passed in the battle, up to a maximum of 10. Going on with our list, we got the Luxury Ball. The Luxury Ball is a Pokeball that has a catch rate of 1, just like the regular Pokeball. Any Pokemon that is caught with a Luxury Ball will gain Friendship twice as fast. Next up, we got the Dusk Ball. The Dusk Ball has a catch rate of 3 if the target is in light level 0, or 1.5 if the target is in light level 1 to 7. You can see the light level that you are on by clicking F3, and it should appear just right here. This is the recipe for the Heal Ball. The Heal Ball has a standard catch rate of 1, and any Pokemon that is caught with a Heal Ball will fully restore his hit points, power points, and status conditions. Now let's look at the Quick Ball. This is the recipe for the Pokeball, and it has a catch rate of 5 if used on the first turn of the battle. Otherwise, it has a catch rate of 1. Now let's look at the recipe for the Dream Ball. The Dream Ball is our first 4th tier Pokeball that, as you can see, uses a diamond to craft. The Dream Ball has a catch rate of 4 on Pokemon that are asleep. Otherwise, it has a catch rate of 1. Next on our list is the Beast Ball. This is the recipe for it, and it will give you 8 Beast Balls when crafted. The Beast Ball has a 5 catch rate when used on an Ultra Beast. These are all the Ultra Beasts that there are. If used on any other Pokemon, it has a 0.1 catch rate, and if any other Pokeball is used on an Ultra Beast, it also has a 0.1 catch rate. Last but not least, we got the Master Ball. This is the recipe for the Master Ball, and as you can see, it is a pretty expensive one. The Master Ball is of course a guaranteed capture, which means that it has a 100% capture rate. You might be thinking that I have forgotten the recipe of the Cherish Ball, but the Cherish Ball is not obtainable through crafting in survival mode. It can only be obtained through commands or creative mode, so that's why it's not on the list. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful in any way, consider liking and subscribing to my channel for more Cobblemon content.